With Pinterest and Instagram, there is no shortage of inspiration for your baby's nursery. When I was expecting my first child, I had so much fun looking online at the designs and stylish baby rooms, and it was just creative heaven. But I was shocked to learn that a majority of these pictures online actually contain many hazards for the safety of your child, especially in the crib. So today I am here to share some really important information for new mamas to help you create a safe space for your child to sleep and play. Sadly, SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, is a devastating reality. Sleep-related deaths are the leading cause of infant mortality in children under 1, with 90% of these deaths occurring before the child is 6 months of age. As children grow beyond the risk of SIDS, accidental injury is the largest reason for mortality in children in the US, with half occurring in the home and a majority being preventable. But there are things that we can do to help minimize these risks and protect our baby. So let's jump in. Number 1, the crib. This is a really important one, especially for newborns. So let's start here. What we want to avoid is suffocation and overheating. Experts recommend that infants for the first 6 months should sleep with their parents, but not in the parent's bed. They should be in their own crib. The ABC of sleep safety is really useful to know. Sleep alone on their back in a crib. Putting a baby to sleep on their back is the most effective way to avoid sleep-related deaths, and they should be on their back for all sleep, including their naps. Because the challenge is with babies is they just can't move easily. So if a toy or blanket covers their face, or if they roll over into a crib bumper, it could prevent them from breathing by blocking their airways. So the guidelines are: a baby should sleep alone in a crib on a flat and firm mattress which fits the crib perfectly with no gaps. Use a tightly fitted sheet. Slats should be less than 6 centimeters apart. Cribs that are slated all the way around are the best for airflow. Also, don't put your crib flush up against the wall. Leave a centimeter or so just to allow that airflow. No stuffed toys or animals, no loose blankets, no mobiles, banners, hanging toys or wall art above the crib, no bumpers of any kind, no hazardous objects within reach of the crib, and no missing or broken parts. A few other things to avoid are cribs manufactured before 2011 because that's when the guidelines changed. Avoid cribs with drop sides, and avoid cribs with solid ends because research has shown that restricted airflow might be a factor in SIDS. Avoid using any type of incline, which has become popular these days for helping reflux, but this can cause a baby's neck to compress and block their airways. Avoid allowing your baby to sleep in any kind of cushiony nest or soft surface like a DockATot, as this increases the risk of suffocation. And also avoid overheating, which is another common cause of SIDS. This is a useful guide because ensuring they are dressed correctly in onesies and swaddle combination based on the room temperature is really important. And here are some signs that your baby might be a little too cold or a little too hot, and you can invest in a room thermometer to help keep track of this. If interested, there are more details on product specifications and measurements available at the United States CPSC. I'll add the link below. So basically all you need is a crib with a fitted sheet and your baby in the correct sleep suit, and this is the safest way for your baby to sleep. Now, a few other tips as your baby develops and reaches new milestones. Firstly, when they can kick off their swaddle, it is time to move to a sleep suit, like these ones from Love to Dream. And then when they grow out of their startle reflex, or when they can roll, whichever comes first, move to an arms-free sleep suit. It's really important to move to arms-free when they start rolling to help prevent suffocation. And lastly, drop the crib down as soon as your child starts showing signs of wanting to pull themselves up. Now that might look like them grabbing onto the side of the crib and pulling themselves up, or pulling themselves up on a couch or an activity cube. As soon as they start showing signs of doing this, drop your crib that day if you can, because you just don't know how fast your baby's going to be, and pull themselves up into standing, which might happen overnight and increases the risk of them falling out of the crib. Okay, so we spent a long time on cribs. It's just because this is so important. But let's move on now and go quickly through the other guidelines. Number 2, falls. Keep the crib away from windows to prevent falling outside. And you can also install window stops to ensure they don't push the window open more than 4 inches. Never leave your baby unattended on a raised surface ever, including your bed, a change table, or a couch, because babies can start rolling as early as 3 to 4 months. Always be in arm's reach or have them secured with a safety belt. Number 3, furniture. Unfortunately, accidents from unsecured furniture is one of the biggest reasons hospitals are treating kids in emergency. Change tables, bookshelves, dressers are all susceptible to tipping over. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends securing furniture into the wall studs with drywall screws. Anchor It is a great website and resource for how to secure furniture to your walls, so I'll add the link in the description below. It's also good to keep heavier items on the bottom shelves of your dressers and bookshelves, and check that age-appropriate toys are the only ones within the child's reach. When using a change table, try and get a mat with a safety strap, or keep your hand on your baby the whole time. So it's very useful to be well prepared whenever you're going to your change table with everything you need stocked up and within easy reach. Number 4, cords and plugs. What we're wanting to do here is securing and adjusting all cords within reach of the child to prevent strangulation. Be sure to keep cords away from the crib or sleep environment. If your windows have cords, use a cord shortener or keep them out of reach from your child, and you can secure monitor cords to the wall with either tape or, if you're handy, a cable concealer. And also remember to place protective covers on all plugs. Number 5, toys. Small toys can be a choking hazard, so keep toys with small parts out of reach. You can also use storage boxes with soft corners for your books and your toys, just to help prevent injury for your child. And I highly recommend using boxes with no lid because they can catch their fingers. You can routinely check the toys in their bedroom, making sure they're age appropriate, not broken, no loose parts. And this really becomes such a challenge once you have more than one child, and inevitably your older child's toys make their way into your younger child's bedroom. So it becomes really important at this stage to routinely scan the room throughout the day and pack away any hazardous toys that could hurt your baby. And of course, no soft toys in the baby's crib till they are old enough for a comforter or a cuddly, which is typically around 12 months old. Now, this might seem like a lot of guidelines and rules, but you really can still achieve a beautiful and magical nursery without the hazardous accessories. Now that you've learned all about crib and nursery safety, you might also be interested in this little nutshell. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.